First at 4, a Redford woman charged in a murder-for-hire plot. Why investigators say she wanted her husband dead. Also, these brothers were caught up in the scandal surrounding actor Jussie Smollett. Now they've filed a lawsuit. Find out who they're targeting, and it's not the actor. Paula?
Is this a sign of the times? This is a sign that greets you at 3 local coffee shops. The question is, does this make you feel welcome or unwelcome?
Temperatures dropping like a rock, so much that we may be seeing frost by the end of tonight. We'll look at that in your weekend forecast right now. First at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sandra Ali. First at 4, a Redford woman faced a federal judge today accused in a murder-for-hire plot. Kirsten Evans is charged with solicitation of murder. Investigators say she wanted to have her husband killed so she could collect his life insurance policy worth $440,000. It's also alleged she saved up $10,000 to have it done. We're told she was arrested after meeting up with an undercover officer who posed as the alleged hitman. We're hearing from Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan today about 2 recall petitions aimed at removing him from office. Both are based on the ongoing investigation by the Inspector General's office into whether the mayor gave preferential treatment and diverted city money to a nonprofit. The mayor, though, doesn't seem to be worried.
It's off topic, Mayor, but any reaction to the recall petition?
Yeah, I think it's the 3rd time in the last 4 years, so, this is the way it goes. No, it's okay. This is the 3rd time, and this is just the nature of the business these days. So of all the things I'm spending my time on, that too up there. Thank you.
The current investigation also questions the mayor's personal relationship with the woman who runs the nonprofit. The mayor says he doesn't talk about his personal life, but says he is cooperating with the investigation. A trial date has now been set for former Michigan State basketball star Mateen Cleaves in a sex assault case that dates back to 2015. You might remember at one point the case was dismissed, but then it was reinstated. Cleaves appealed all the way to the state Supreme Court, which declined to review the case, allowing charges to be reinstated in January of 2018. Cleaves is accused of assaulting a woman after a charity golf event and a visit to a Flint area bar. That case is now expected to go to trial on July 30th in Genesee County. Vice President Mike Pence will be coming to Metro Detroit tomorrow. He's in town for a Trump fundraising event, but will also make several other stops as well. He'll tour the Ford River Rouge plant in Dearborn, where he'll have a discussion about the auto industry and the new NAFTA agreement. Plus, the vice president will make stops in Detroit and Taylor as well. And if today's weather continues, the vice president will get a good taste of spring here in Michigan. We've been really lucky lately. Ben, the question now is, can we keep it going, hopefully?
Yeah, maybe past tense taste, because all the good stuff today was in the front of our Tuesday, and now things are changing dramatically with the passage of a cold front. 60s are as good as we've got right now. 62 is our warmest temperature. Look at how many spots are in the 50s, and we're flirting with 40s already out in our west zone. And this is setting up for a very cold night tonight, as we're expecting temperatures to hit the 30s across the entire area. Now, there is going to be some emerging sunshine, but it's not going to be enough to save us. Temperatures have already hit their highs. Some of us got to the 70s, but we're going to be falling fast. Mid-40s there by midnight, and even colder as we head towards tomorrow. We'll look at that patchy frost potential and see how many days that sets up for in just a few minutes. Sandra?
Thank you, Ben. The United States Supreme Court will have the final say now over whether next year's census forms will include a citizenship question. The justices heard arguments on the issue today. The Commerce Department decided to put the citizenship question for the forms for the 2020 census. Critics charge the move will diminish census count, especially among Hispanics living in the U.S. 3 lower federal courts have already blocked the question, but the Trump administration argues it is necessary to get a count of non-citizens. A decision is expected in June, right in time for the 2020 census forms to be printed out. So many questions still swirling around the Jussie Smollett scandal in Chicago, and now 2 key players are fighting for their reputations after charges were dropped for the actor. Devin Scillian joins us now with the very latest on this new lawsuit. And Devin, this was an interesting twist.
It is, Sandra. The lawsuit is being filed by the 2 brothers who say they helped Smollett stage a racist, homophobic attack on Jussie Smollett. But they're not going after Smollett. They're suing his attorneys. You may recall how Smollett, he was on the TV drama Empire. He told police he was the victim of a bigoted attack. Police arrested 2 brothers, Abel and Ola Oshindairo. but then released them. No charges were filed. They claim Smollett staged the whole attack. Well, the charges were filed against Smollett, then later dropped. The brothers are now suing Smollett's attorneys, Mark Garagos and Tina Glandian, for defamation for characterizing the brothers as culprits in a crime. The brothers want those false characterizations to have consequences.
Today's suit enables us to make sure that those consequences are decided in a court of law, not on a cable news network, not in an interview on a TV station, and not in some squib that is made in a newspaper.
Attorneys for the brothers say they've suffered emotional distress, humiliation, anxiety, damage to their reputations, and damage to prospective business relations. Garagos and Glandian released a joint statement today calling the lawsuit ridiculous. They say that it lacks any legal footing. By the way, Jussie Smollett has never changed his story, and he has thus far refused to pay the Chicago Police Department for the overtime that was racked up during that lengthy investigation. Sandra, back to you.
Yeah, yet another twist today. All right, thank you, Devin. Airbag safety questions being raised about another 12 million vehicles. It's a problem that could be linked to 8 deaths as well. Regulators say they're now looking at cars that have airbag controls made by the German company ZFTRW. They're looking at several automakers as well. They're looking at Toyota, Honda, Kia, Hyundai, Mitsubishi, and Fiat Chrysler. The model years in question, 2010 through 2019. Right now, we should point out, this is not a recall, but it's an engineering analysis. Investigators say they're looking at whether the airbags might fail to inflate during a crash. Of course, we're going to keep you posted as that investigation continues. In this next story, we're going to show you a sign placed in the windows of some local coffee shops. The goal here is to make everyone feel welcome, regardless of factors like race, religion, or sexual orientation. But sometimes the sign can have the opposite effect. Paula Tutman digs into the different reactions and what they say about the times we're living in.
So this is the sign that greets you before you go into and inside all of the Dessert Oasis coffee roasters in Detroit, Royal Oak, and downtown Rochester. For Rabia, it's a sign of the times. When she entered Dessert Oasis coffee roasters in Detroit, she felt safe, something she doesn't always feel when she leaves the city.
My friends and I walked into Taco Bell in Gaylord, and it was interesting that we were sitting in that Taco Bell, and I thought, okay, well, maybe we shouldn't stay here too long because, I mean, I don't know if somebody might come up to us. I don't know. So that's always a concern.
But the sign at the front and posted throughout the shop says the coffee shop welcomes all races and ethnicities, religions, countries of origin, gender identities, sexual orientations, abilities and disabilities, spoken languages, and ages. Everybody.
I mean, I love it. I think it's great. I think it should be posted everywhere.
But that sign does not make Laura feel comfortable or safe.
I kind of feel like that. Why does it need to even say that? Why does, if it welcomes everybody, why would you have to specify that?
So would that sign make you feel welcome walking in, or would it keep you from walking in?
Now that I read that sign, I don't know. I don't think I would, I don't think.
To me, that's really unfortunate. It seems ironic, to say the least, that something that should be a beautiful sentiment, that should be all-inclusive, is actually something that would scare people. I don't get it.
Nate largely runs the family operations these days and did not check with the older generation about posting the signs.
I was concerned about how people would perceive it, business concerns.
I think it's really important that we maintain that inclusiveness is not something that should be divisive. I think we should loudly say that, you know, everyone is welcome, everyone is safe here.
Father and son talk about a time not so long ago when signs kept people out and kept people apart. They say they want their signs to bring people in and bring people together.
Obviously, we want to put Jim Crow behind us, and we want to grow beyond that as a country.
If the opposite was said so loudly at one point in history, I think we should be saying today very loudly that all are welcome.
And for the people who do not tolerate or accept people who look different, speak different, pray different, love different, or live different, father and son agree those people are welcome too. So the family stresses this is not supposed to be a political statement. They believe that this is just a statement about how they feel about everyone. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
All right, Paula. Still ahead, a canine officer injured in the line of duty. He was chasing a suspect when he ran into a surprising obstacle. The photos will break your heart. Plus, also, you may have seen this surveillance video. It's been circulating on social media. A woman caught dumping puppies in the trash, how police tracked her down. And we have an update at this hour on how those puppies are doing. Plus, one man steps forward to make lottery history. What he says about the moment he realized he won, and also what about his job? We'll have all these stories coming up right after the break.
Of law. Coming up all new on Local 4 News at 5 and 6.
I'm Devin Skilly, and here's what some of the stories we're working on today. A surprise delivery in a local parking lot. Wait until you hear this dad's response to his baby being born into his own hands. Plus, Nick.
He likes the camera, and he's going to have to get used to it because he's kind of a famous beagle. Why? He's one of the 32 rescued from that horrible situation in West Michigan, and now he has finally found his, I guess they call it forever homes, right? Forever, right, Teddy?
Those stories and a lot more coming up on Local 4 News at 5 and 6. I hope we'll see you then. Sandra, back to you.
All right, Devin, you may have seen the story of these poor little puppies on social media, and now there's been an arrest in the case that has shocked animal lovers. A 54-year-old woman has been arrested. She's now facing 7 counts of felony animal abuse. Surveillance video from Coachella, California, showed her tossing 7 puppies into that dumpster. She did it, and they were inside a sealed plastic bag. Someone heard the puppies crying and rescued them. Here they are. Police say they tracked down the suspect because the license plate of her car, it was also in that video. The puppies are now being bottle fed. They're in foster care. They're all expected to be okay. These photos here are very hard to look at after this police canine is injured in the line of duty. It happened in Oregon. This is Odin. Odin was trying to track down a suspect when he crossed paths with a porcupine. Police stopped the chase immediately, and then they rushed him to an animal hospital. The quills have all been removed. I know this is really hard to look at. Odin, though, is recovering. He is home. Sadly, though, the suspect did get away. For weeks now, we have been wondering who won that $768 million Powerball jackpot back in March. Well, wonder no more. 24-year-old Manuel Franco from suburban Milwaukee. He just stepped forward to claim his prize. He told reporters his heart was pumping. It was racing as he checked his numbers, and then he started to realize that all 6 matched. Then he says he just started screaming. He's taking the lump sum payment, $477 million before taxes. And by the way, if you're wondering, yes, he quit his job the second day after winning, saying he just couldn't continue working anymore.
Working? How do you keep a secret?
I mean, you can't. That is really, that's a tough one.
He could get Packers season tickets for that kind of money.
I mean, he could get anything he wants with that kind of money. Very neat.
Probably couldn't buy some warmer temperatures for us.
I know.
We have seen the best that Mother Nature has for today, and this was it. 71 at Metro Airport, but it was earlier today before that cold front came through. We got some sneaky sunshine there, but since the showers left in the morning and before that front crossed through about midday, and now we're on our way down. We're already at 62, but look at some of these west and north zone numbers. Low 50s out here for current temperatures. And as we told you at the top of the show, we're headed to the 30s for overnight lows, and that will mean frost in a couple spots. You wouldn't think that with the winds gusting 25 to nearly 30 miles an hour out there right now, but things are going to calm down very quickly. As soon as that sun goes down, the winds are going to relax, the skies clear out, and that combination means we're getting cold tonight, but it's also going to be stable enough to produce a few areas of patchy frost, probably just in some of the far outlying areas at our west and north zone. Doubtful we'll see much of that in the metro zone, but we'll be out there in some spots. Here's the satellite image, and you can see some of that early sunshine. Clouds won over, and now they're starting to thin again. Especially in areas from Detroit down towards the state line. But that's not going to be enough to bring back the 70s, especially with that cold wind behind that front. The good news about tomorrow is even though we start cold, we've got all day sunshine on Wednesday. So it's going to be a bright day. And even Thursday, as we're sandwiched in between 2 systems, we'll still manage to keep the sunshine around at least until very late on Thursday. Thursday night into Friday morning, we're going to see some showers, possibly a rumble of thunder as this cold front comes through. And yes, we will be seeing temperatures trending downward again as we head into the upcoming weekend, but at least we get a little bit of a recovery going forward. So let's look at these lows tonight. Here's the metro zone, and it's all blue. 39 is what we're expecting in the city, 38 for an official low temperature. South zone may be lucky to see a 40 down here in Luna Pier, but generally, especially the further inland you get, mid-30s. West zone, we're starting to get close to the freezing mark out here in Howell, Fenton, Flint, all at 34 for low temperatures, 37 a little bit closer to 275. And the north zone, it's a whole mess of mid-30s out there, 34 in Lapeer and Ortonville. And again, some of these inland rural areas could be seeing some patchy frost as we finish out the nighttime hours. Won't last very long. 66 and tons of sunshine tomorrow with a light wind, so it's not going to be as gusty. We'll stay in the 60s, but cooling going into the weekend. And don't forget to join us out at the Meijer in Ann Arbor tomorrow. It's our first severe weather alert day of the season, so we'll see you out there tomorrow afternoon. Sandra?
Thank you, Ben. Still ahead, the Harry Potter universe is expanding into a retail store near you. Now even muggles can add a little magic to their fashion choices. Also, Beyonce shines the spotlight on her fans. Now their dance moves are breaking the internet. We'll have trending stories for you coming up next. In today's trending stories, do you still carry cash? You know, it seems like mobile payments are taking over, but not so fast. A marketing firm recently found 76% of you still carry some cash every day, even if you also use other payment methods. More than half, 55%, say they hate the idea of life without cash. There's an age divide here, too. 45% of people who are over the age of 40 have never used mobile payments. Researchers say some businesses are really reluctant to accept mobile payments because of the cost and also the perceived lack of interest as well. So you may have heard about this. Retailer Vans is getting into business with the Harry Potter empire. You're looking at some of the patterns that could be used in clothing and new footwear. The patterns are each based on the different houses at Hogwarts, which is the fictional wizarding school, just in case you haven't read the books or seen the movies. Vans posted the big announcement on Twitter, but hasn't said when the new items will eventually be available. It calls the new partnership magical. So you can always count on Beyonce to break the internet, right? And she's doing it again with a new Instagram post. In her new cover of Before I Let Go, she turns the song into a dance party, and then she calls out a number of dance moves as well. Fans have started posting videos of themselves dancing along, and Queen Bey noticed.
I just wanna have a good time. Turn around, kick inside. And curl that ass to the right. Bunny hop, drop, cross your legs, turn around.
Beyonce posted the compilation on her Instagram, and now these dancers are getting their moment in the Beehive spotlight, all thanks to the hashtag #BeforeILetGo challenge. Jeopardy James strikes again, and he could hit $1 million tonight, in fact. James Holzhauer is already up to more than $942,000 after just 13 wins. At this point, he's averaging more than $70,000 during each game, which means $1 million could be likely very soon, unless, I don't know, disaster strikes during a daily double or something. Most of the time, James leaves opponents very far behind, but it's pretty exciting to see how high he can go. And you can find out if he hits the $1 million mark tonight at 7:30 right here on Local 4, and we will be watching. Still ahead here at 4, we have the story of a rare multiple birth. We're talking about some very big babies with 12 legs and probably one very tired mother. We'll explain coming up next.
His son was born inside a jail cell because the mother was locked up for driving on a suspended license.
And that is just unacceptable to me. If you're a judge.
The ACLU says if the family was not poor, it never would have happened.
It's morally wrong and it's unconstitutional. We need to put a stop to it.
Now the father is speaking out, supporting a plan to do away with cash bail in Michigan for nonviolent criminals.
For a woman that's 8 months pregnant, she's not running away, she can't afford to pay your bond.
The Defenders, today at 5 on Local 4.
City Furniture.
Finally today, first at 4, a surprising delivery that beats some incredible odds.
Workers at Larson Farms in Mason County are celebrating the arrival of cow triplets. Even more amazing, all 3 female calves are healthy and they seem to be doing well.
Workers expected a multiple birth, but it is really rare to have all the calves survive. We're told the odds of that happening run from 1 in 100,000 to 1 in 400,000. Each baby, by the way, quote unquote baby, weighs 5 to 65 pounds.
Wow.
That's a lot. Or like 50 to 65 pounds. Thanks so much for joining us today, first at 4.